All right, so I am back again. As you can see, I am not from the title. I'm not talking about my personal experiences with making friends or male friends. I am once again responding to somebody else's personal experience that they shared. So there it is. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want me or anybody else for that matter to respond to your personal experiences, don't put them on the internet. One thing that, I kind of find annoying in society is people will be all mind your business or nobody asks your opinion, but then they put their own personal business all over the internet. You know what I'm saying? And then claim, well, I have the freedom to do so. Well, I have the freedom to respond. So, anyways, there's this dude here. Red Fox Delta is his TikTok name. He details his story and why he has trouble making male friends. Uh, for transparency reasons, I did watch this video at least once, but I know what I want to say, essentially. I know what I want to say in regards to Mr. Delta's uh, situation here. But we're going to watch this together. And yeah, I'm going to share my thoughts. I will press it pause, so beware of that throughout his video.
It's crazy how genuinely hard it is to talk to a man today without getting upset or annoyed. And I'm not saying this to like piss anybody off. It is just genuinely hard as a male person with no male friends or any friends at all, really. It's so hard to just maintain a normal conversation with a man because most men don't talk about stuff that's normal, if that makes sense. I work at a gas station for
That's red flag number one, him working at a gas station. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. All right, let me continue.
anybody who follows me, you know this, and this is common knowledge. But it seems like every day I'm subjected to this weird, um, like mental battle that I have with myself where I think like, did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? And it's mainly because of an interaction that I had with another man.
That's not men's fault, by the way. I think that first of all, and you all will see, or maybe you'll see what I see in this man here. He's definitely somebody who I feel there's quite a lot quite a few things I can say and will say about this man. But based on this first comment here, he's definitely somebody who follows this monolithic mindset of what interactions look like or what it means to interact. Now, he will detail, I did cut him off a bit. You will hear in a few seconds or so, or whenever I stop yapping, but you will hear him essentially bring up how he was raised and why that may have added to a bit of the trauma, his trauma response, essentially to why he feels he goes through in his mind. Did I respond this way? Did I respond the right response? And this is for Mr. Red Fox Delta or anybody out there. The right response is the one that is genuinely your response to any type of situation, any type of comment, any type of interaction. That is the right response, the one that generally fits you, not the one that you think, oh, I gotta react this way because I'm a man. Well, I gotta react this way because I'm a woman. I gotta react this way because I'm. No, the right response is the one that fits you. And again, he will say this, but I'm gonna just, I guess preface it in a way, if that's the right term. He does bring up how he didn't have many or any positive male influences in his life, and that could lead to the warping of this man's mind. Part of why he is the way he is today. But let's continue.
And I find it so hard to describe, let alone uh like regurgitate these situations that I've seen and witnessed and experienced growing up with bad male influences. And it just makes it so fucking hard to talk to other men. Do you know how many times I've had a normal conversation with a guy and then it instantly went south because they said something fucked up? Like, it would be a normal conversation about the weather. And I could be like, yeah, man, hopefully the weather's nice next couple days because my wife and I are going to be doing this and that. And the response was like, well, my wife was bitching to me the other day about blah, blah, blah. And I hear that, and instantly everything else is moot, you know?
So, like I said, I've already watched this once, so I know exactly what he's gonna say afterwards, even after the point he just made. Um, so I am gonna kind of spoil it for y'all just a bit. Go ahead and sue me. Um, go ahead and try to sue me, please. I need some money so I can countersue you because I don't think you could win a case for me spoiling a video for you on YouTube. But anyways, in all seriousness, this dude, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because when I saw this on Twitter, as you can see, like where the video, or at least where I'm watching the video as I've made it clear in past videos, I'm not on TikTok. I only see TikTok videos when I'm on Twitter or any other social media platform, mainly Twitter. But I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because I didn't want to just go based off of what the comments were saying about dude, because he's being torn to shreds by dudes in the comments. Um, and I wanted to obviously watch it myself and see what was the case. And I have to say, yeah, this dude is the problem. This is red flag number one when he gets on this tirade about the language that a male used to describe his situation with his wife one time when he was trying to, I guess, speak with another man. Um, you will hear in a few when I start talking, but instead of listening to what the man was saying, or at least trying to say, the man or paying attention to what the man was trying to do. The man was trying to confide in him. The man was trying to um pretty much tell him his situation, his marital situation, like his problems. Like, again, trying to, open up to him, right? The thing that y'all say men don't do. We don't do enough, or we don't do at all. But then when this man faces it, and I'm sure this man has made statements like that about men based off of this video here, he's probably made statements about like that about men. But instead of looking at that situation, you nitpick the word that he uses, bitch. Oh, she's bitching at me. He's nitpicking that. And then he ends that friendship with that man, or that potential friendship with that man, simply because he doesn't like the language that man is using, who clearly at that moment in time was in a situation to where he was going through something with his wife. And this man wanted to tone police that man and say, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, how dare you say that word bitching? Like, I'm not saying that the word could the other man have used other words or better words or softer words to convey that same message that me and my wife are having issues, or my wife is, right now she's getting on me about something. Could he have used different language? Absolutely. But the point of the matter is, that's what's moot here is actually that specific word. And the what this man, again, what Red Fox Delta refused to happen, refused to let happen, was let a man open up to him about his marriage situation. And you being Red Fox, if you're watching this, whatever, him supposedly being in a happy marriage, how about you, if you were to actually want to be friendly to that man, you would have listened to him. You could have corrected him on his language too. I'm not saying that, he's wrong for, making or having an issue, let me just say, with the language the man used, but that should not have been the bigger focal point. The bigger focal point was that man was trying to confide in you because he saw something in you. I can't see it, but he saw something in you, or he was at least, at the very least, hoping that you would be someone that was a listening ear, or potentially, again, as someone who is seemingly in a happy marriage, you can lend some advice to this dude. Advice other than the language that he used to describe his wife's actions that was causing him some type of pain or whatever the case is, but advice on how to fix the marriage so they're both happy. And that could have been a learning experience for dude, and you could have created a situation to where you had a male friend. That also could have been a learning experience for Red Fox over here. Red Fox Delta, all right? Rest in peace to, Red Fox, the comedian, right? I hope he's not dead. If he's dead, if he's not dead, I'm gonna feel hella dumb for saying that. But shout out to, that's what I meant to say. Shout out to Red Fox, the comedian. All right. But that could have been a learning experience for both of them. Instead of hyper fixating on, how could you say that word? How could you say a word? Instead of hyper fixating on that, you could have been like, okay, not really loving the language you use there, bro, but I understand what you're saying. You're having an issue within your marriage. Me being someone who's not having an issue within my marriage, maybe I can give you a helping hand, you know? And then once you get that out the way, then you can get on him about the language. You'd be like, hey, next time, how about we use different words to describe, again, your wife's actions that is causing you to be annoyed or causing you to have this reaction? Because there are definitely other words that can be used, more healthier words that can be used to describe the same thing. Because ultimately, the man was trying to say something, but you shut it down and you said everything that he had to say essentially was moot. When the real moot was the word bitching he used. I understand, again, the issue in that. But that's not the the overarching issue here, and it's like you made it a bigger deal, claiming I can't connect with male friends because I don't like the language, or this is an example of why he can't connect with other men because he don't like the language that's being used, and it seems very much nitpicky. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said it's red flag number one for Red Fox Delta, that he is the problem here. But he's going to continue on saying some stuff that I'm going to continue on picking apart. So, yeah, this ain't even done yet. We only a minute and 43 seconds into his video, not mine. All right. Hit that like button on my video, though, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right. All right.
What I mean, like, I don't want to listen anymore because you just said one of the worst things you could have said about the woman that you supposedly love. And that's, you said she's bitching, which is degrading her. You are degrading her by saying that. Saying my wife is bitching is just not something that I really want to reciprocate.
And like I said, he doesn't have to like the language. I even said that man could have used a softer language, or something that wasn't bitching, to convey said same message. But this is a situation where it's like, stop hyper fixating on the word per se and actually look at what that man was trying to say to you, as I noted moments ago, you know?
I have nothing to say to that because I don't know your family. I don't know your situation. And I feel like you would just be happy, wouldn't you? Like, wouldn't you just be happy knowing, oh, I have a wife at home who loves.
This is the part I really wanted to talk about. I really wanted to talk about here. I mean, all of it really is this video is a fucking wreck. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but and it was hard to watch, and it's hard to watch again because this dude is it's pretty sad. I said that out. I literally said that out loud when I was watching this. I was like, yo, bro, you're sad. Like, it's actually sad that you're living this way. So his response is, dude should not be bitching about his wife's bitching because he should be happy that he even has a wife in the first place. Toxic women love men like this. You want to know why? Men like him, like Red Fox Delta, are the men who just will take any type of mistreatment, because they're just so happy that there's a woman who is willing to be seen next to them, who is willing to be with them. And that's absolutely sad. That's absolutely sad. I don't know Red Fox Delta, but I highly get the sense that if we were really to unpack, if we were to have a conversation, if he's willing to have one with me, we would see something to where this man is in so one of those insecure dudes. Like, I don't even want to, he is being a simp, but I don't want to call him a simp because simps are very much, a lot of simps these days are very much intentionally trying to trying to be simps. I don't know how other way to put it. I don't think he's intentionally trying to be a simp. I think he's reacting in a way in which he feels, again, his insecurity is telling him, you have to be this way. You just got to be happy, bro. You just got to be happy. You got a woman in your life. And that type of toxic of thinking has killed many men. And I don't mean like it's gotten men killed by their women, even though it probably has. The ones who are getting physically abused by them, and people are telling them, "Just stay, bro. See how fine she is, or just stay." She'll stop, or just not just in that sense, but I'm talking about the stress from inside. This type of dude, Red Fox Delta, is the type of dude to where if he were to befriend a man, he would tell and the man is again trying to confide in him and say, hey man, he doesn't even use the word bitch in this time. He uses softer, I guess kinder language to express the same message as the man who used the word bitching. My wife is getting on me on about this thing, and it's really making me feel bad. And he's the type of friend, instead of listening to that man, he would tell that man to shut up, take the beatings, he will blame the man because it's always those folks. Well, what are you doing? What are you doing to make her react that way? And then if that man were to kill himself because he has no support from his supposed friends, maybe family aren't supporting him as well. He's not getting any type of support. He's clearly not getting it from at home, from his wife, his partner. So he ends up killing himself. Red Fox Delta is the type that will say to that man, who show up to that man's funeral or get on TikTok and call that man selfish for committing suicide. How could you, bro? How could you leave, bro? You had a wife, you had kids, you had friends, you had people who cared about you. Did he really? Did y'all really care about him? Because when he came to you, Mr. I was your friend. How could you, bro? He's the type of friend that would do that. So, yeah, ultimate red flag. Red flag, man, we got to switch hoodies. All right. I need this hoodie he got on. He needs this red ass hoodie I got on. Because that is the ultimate red. He's the ultimate red flag. He definitely gives me that types of vibes where he will tell a man to suck it up, be okay with it. Not on some tough it out because we are strong men, but on some just be glad you got a woman in your life. That should make you happy because he gives me the vibes, and that's how he lives his life. God forbid he kills himself, but men who go down that path of just simply being happy that they have a woman in their life, again, the wrong women. I'm not saying I don't know nothing about this man's wife, but the wrong women notice that about a man and they take advantage of that. All I'm saying, bro, that's how you want to live. That's how you want to live at the end of the day. But don't go on and start telling other men that we gotta live and just be happy with mistreatment because you are happy with mistreatment. Nice hoodie, by the way. That's why I really wanted to switch hoodies. But you still a red flag, bro. But we'll continue.
Me and like cares about me, wouldn't that make you happy? I don't know. It makes me happy. I've never gone somewhere and thought about complaining about my wife to anybody.
Because you have already told yourself that you should be happy to have a wife. I don't think this woman is perfect. Nobody is. He's not perfect. Damn sure ain't perfect. I'm sure there are things that she has done and said that made him feel bad. All right. But he's to the point where he is, I'm just so happy to even have a woman. I'm just so happy to have a woman in my life that I'm willing to put up with this, or I'm willing to even ignore the things that she does that make me feel bad because it could be worse. I could be alone, like this loser on YouTube talking about me, huh? Let's continue, though.
Like, she's who I complain to, about everything. It's
Everything but her, because I highly doubt this man is telling his wife. I could be wrong. I'm just assuming based off of, knowledge and assumptions, but I don't think you're ever telling your wife about herself. I don't. I don't think he tells his wife about herself. I'm not saying he has to be disrespectful. That's the thing. If you're with anybody, man, woman, however that individual identifies, and you simply just say to them, "Hey, I take issue with this. Oh, the other day when you said this thing, it kind of hurt my feelings." Or you say it in that moment, they say something and you let it be known. If their initial reaction is to bitch at you, yeah, I'm gonna use that word, but if their initial reaction is to, gaslight you, make you feel like you're wrong for simply having an emotions, that creates this type of individual. That and amongst other things as well. Again, he doesn't seem like he's the most secure man ever. So therefore, I feel like again, he is one of those dudes that's just happy to have a woman in his life. Happy to have a woman that is willing to be seen with him. Happy to have a woman who allows him to touch her. Hopefully they at least hold hands. Hopefully this is not a marriage where she's like, "Ill, don't touch me. You could be seen next to me, but don't touch me. Don't sit too close." Ugh. Man up, man.
it's just so hard to be friends with men today because they all kind of say the same shit and they all think that
There we go with that monolith thinking. It could be the type of man. I made the joke about the gas station. Let's be real. The people who hang around gas stations are not, y'all not gonna like me because probably some of y'all are some gas station hangers. But people who hang around gas stations are not the, I'm gonna say they're not necessarily people I would want to be friends with. Let me just put it that way. All right. They're not necessarily people I want to be friends with. You know? Thank God my bike is electric, so I don't got to deal with that shit. But yeah, if I had a car, if I had a vehicle that ran on gas, um, because I've been at gas stations before. Hello, I've driven cars that were gas cars, and I can tell you right now, um, my hand was on my holster, and it wasn't because I like putting my hands on my hips. Let me just say that. Anyways, let's continue though.
you're gonna find something funny because you're a man. And I'm sick of that shit. I don't think it's funny to look at memes of like, oh, women can't drive. Memes of like women doing the dishes. Oh, here's a funny video of some guy telling his wife to get back in the kitchen. Why would this ever be fucking funny to some?
He's cooking in this section only because I hate when people share memes to me. And here's my thing, my friends should know this, or they already do know this. Don't share memes to me. I don't think any of the memes that y'all niggas share is funny. I'm just gonna keep it real. Unless you know my sense of humor, like know this. If you're like, oh, I know 1,000, 1,000,000% Ernest is gonna laugh at this. Do not share memes with me. I still got friends who do it, but I intentionally ignore every single meme that is shared to me because none of this shit is funny. I'm not just talking about the sexist memes or whatever the case is. I'm talking about all the stuff. It's a bunch of stuff people be sharing with me all the time. Friends, exes, everybody who has access to a meme or whatever, they will share some shit to me and 99.999999999 100% of the time, the memes is not funny to me. And I'm like, don't share the shit. So he's cooking. He's cooking here because of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type that's gonna fake laugh at something I don't find funny either. You know what I'm saying? Which is what he is hinting at here, or he's getting at here, that he don't want to laugh at the memes about telling a woman to go back in the kitchen because he doesn't find that funny. So he's not going to pretend to find that funny just to make friends. I'm giving him the thumbs up because that's how you're supposed to react. That is what's being real. Did I do that right? Did I do that right? If you genuinely do not find that funny, don't laugh. If you genuinely find whatever meme somebody finds funny, laugh. That is the right thing to do, is to actually be real. But stop questioning, oh, is it me? Am I saying the wrong thing? It is you, because we already made it clear that you're a big walking, talking red flag. Like you're the type of dude again that's just happy to have a woman in your life. So that's clearly insecurity there. But you're also the type of dude that wants other men to feel that way as well and be as insecure as you. So when a man is trying to either stand up for himself or speak up about his issue, your default mindset is, well, just be happy you have a woman and stop bitching. All right. Because I'm sure that you say that about to the men, but nah, for real, like something to that effect. Even if he doesn't use those words, you still essentially said the same thing. So if you're gonna have a problem with a man saying that about his wife, which I understand it, you marry this woman and blah blah blah. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Why marry a woman? There's a lot of men out here who be marrying women they're not really happy with, marrying women to women they're not really attracted to. And in no way, shape, or form am I making excuses for those illogical decisions. But if we're getting on, if we are gonna hyperfixate on again tone policing or the word bitching, he, he went on kind of tangential, but he went off on a dude, or he's going off on a dude for using that word, but then he essentially the vibe he gives off and pretty much the message he was saying was men stop bitching because you should just be happy to have women. And again, evil women love these types of men. They love this type of men. They don't like men like me, who's gonna call them out respectfully, of course. And I say respectfully, I'm not gonna go crazy with it. But they don't like men like me that's gonna stand up for ourselves. That's gonna demand respect. They don't want men like me. Men like him, no. So this whole idea, and again, I don't want to make any inferences about his wife, but this whole idea that, well, he must be doing something right, because I know that someone's gonna say he must be doing something right. He's married and you're not. He's married because he possibly found a evil witch who was like, yes, I found my sucker. Because I ain't gonna lie, dude's a sucker. He might not like the language. You might not like it. I don't care. Dude's a sucker. But he's cooking here as far as the meme goes. All right. Y'all want to befriend me? First rule of thumb, don't send me memes. All right. If you cannot do that, you're one step closer to being my friend. All right.
buddy. Why? It's like if it were a private conversation that my wife and I were making jokes about, like my wife makes a joke to me and says like go back to work or something, or even if she looked at me and said get back in the kitchen and make me food, that's funny because it's between us and we know.
It's funny because you're the butt of the joke and you couldn't say that. I highly doubt he could use that joke against his wife. And he's probably like, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't say that to my wife. Okay, all right. But I highly doubt even softer jokes, you can't joke on your wife. I think that y'all have a relationship where, again, you take the butt, you are the butt of the joke. You are not to vocalize if there's moments to where she jokes about something that is, a hit below the belt. You're supposed to take that gut punch, take that, below the belt punch, and, look up with a smile and say, I love you, babe. That's the dynamics of the relationship that I believe this man has. Definitely giving off that vibe. That's why I'm making these statements here.
Know, like we're comfortable enough to be like, okay, we know each other, and that's fine. We're on that level where we work together in that sense, both comedically and emotionally. And it just kind of like drives me crazy talking to other men, and they will say these really, really harsh, alarming things about the women in their lives. I cannot stand it. I just can't.
Okay, that's the end of the video. All right. So, again, as I stated before, like I understand telling these dudes like pretty much like if you're gonna be married to her, like why are you bitching about this woman? Like just divorce. I get that. But as I've stated, I feel as though what this man considers harsh, aside from a man saying things that's obviously harsh, is a man simply just not being the type of man that he is. Someone that is going to, again, that is going to force themselves to put up with any disrespect, put up with anything because he's just happy to have a wife. He's just happy to have a partner. I know what this looks like because in my younger years, that's the type of dude I was. That's why I'm able to identify with this dude to an extent. And that's why I was like, this is absolutely sad. I had to grow out of that, you know? I'm glad I'm not that type of man now, you know? And yeah, it may have caused me a lot of, well, I won't even say a lot. I won't even say it may have been at the expense of my dating life I would word it that way, where it's like, yeah, you're not getting as many partners as you once were when you were younger. And it has zero to do with the amount of money I had back then. Definitely don't got to do with the looks. I actually looked better as I got older. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, but it had everything to do with who I was allowing to have access to me, who I was allowing to in my life. And I was accepting everyone. And again, like I said, toxic women can pick up on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like intuition, men and women's intuition is strong, but toxic women's intuition is fucking potent, my guy. Like they know who the suckers are. They know who to try. And with that being said, once they see you, all it takes is, a little slither for them to get get run them games on you. You know, I'm not gonna go throughout the whole gambit. This was supposed to be me just responding to this video, but as I stated, yeah, it was sad to watch. It was sad to watch again. It was sad to watch the first time. Fellas, if you struggle to make friends, you should look at yourself first. Anybody, men and women. You should look at the type of person you are and see maybe you're the one that is, shooing people away. Because this man clearly, clearly doesn't see him as an issue. At the same time, you can tell this man isn't satisfied with himself, when it comes to just, I'd probably say like in general, but definitely within his dating world. And I'm not saying he should divorce his wife. He could have the most sweetest wife ever. Whatever works for them works for them. And as I stated, if he wants to be the dude and that overlooks every mistreatment, everything, be that. That's your decision. You're a grown man. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate you didn't have positive male figures in your life. I'm not trying to be this man's father or anything of that nature, but from one man to another, I think that you should desire more for yourself. And desiring more for yourself simply just means respecting yourself, loving yourself, and not just basing your entire existence or your value on, well, I got a woman to say yes to my marriage. I got a woman to say that she wants to spend the rest of her life with me. I'm not saying I'm up against marriage. I'm not saying I'm against people getting into relationships. I'm against all that stuff. So for anyone that's going to say these things, shut up. Like, yeah, that's what you heard. That's what you got from my message. That's what you got. To retarded ass. All right. What I'm simply saying for men and women out there, for everybody, is that your entire value is not based on whether you can get somebody of the opposite sex or even the same sex, if that's how you get down, to lay with you, be seen with you. And if that's how you want to live your life, that's how you want to live your life. But don't go into friendships, don't go into any other personal relationships you may have with that mentality and start gaslighting other people in your life into getting into devaluing themselves in that way. Because there are men out there who, yeah, they want a loving relationships, but they're not willing to just put up with any old woman's BS to be in that relationship. How do I know? Because I'm one of those men. And like I said, I used to be like this dude. Not to this extreme, because even back then I was still there were moments where I did end up snapping. It was like, all right. And those are moments where we broke up. When she figured out, when that toxic woman figured out that I was no longer just going to be a pinata for her, when I was no longer just gonna roll with the punches. Those were the moments where she was like, "Oh no, we can't be together because you yelled at me. We can't be together because you're emotional. We can't be together because you won't allow me to let you use you like you once did. Or you've changed." That's a big one I've heard. You've changed. Yeah, I did change for the better. Unfortunately, this man needs to change for the better. And instead of doing that on his own, he would rather get on TikTok. No surprise there, but he would rather get on TikTok and, of course, feign perfection, but also um, make it seem as though that he's not the problem in this situation where we both watched that video, that 3 minute video. All right. It was longer because I was pausing, but in totality, in reality, it's a 3 minute video. We both watched that. And I don't know your interpretations. So go let me know in the comment section below. But we both watched the same video. And we watched a man who I believe is a man who is truly insecure. A man who values him only sees his value based on if he was to secure a relationship. And now that he's in the marriage, or he has secured a relationship, he now sees himself as a valuable man. And his answer to that was, well, I simply just, I just allowed BS to happen. And I can't identify with men who don't want to be in unhappy relationships. I can't identify with men who simply aren't going to be happy because they found a woman who said yes to their marriage proposal. There are plenty of other men out like that out there. So with this whole idea of you can't find male friends. I used to work with a dude like that. I got people in my family like that. What was his name? Red Fox Delta? Red Fox Delta, dude. Like I can hook you up with male friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna charge you anything. Keep your little gas money, your little gas station money. All right. I'm I'm not trying to degrade how you get your money, get your money. You know what I'm saying? We all gotta get our money out here. But I can I know people just like this dude, you know? Not just speaking about my old self, but people right now who are currently just like this dude. Y'all can be friends and leave the other men out here alone. The men like me who are like, hey, listen, like we would like to be friends with you, but you're not going to gaslight me into thinking that I'm the issue here if I'm trying to confide in you about this problem that I'm having. And your issue is you don't like the language that I used. You don't have to like the language, but then again, we're here talking about my issue. After I get all that down, after you say what you got to say, now I'm willing to listen to you about the language thing but you done turn it around on me. Like if I was that man and he did that again, I can see why he has no male friends. You're telling men essentially to take disrespect at home because they should be happy they have a woman in their life that who said yes to them. Now they don't have a friend who's truly gonna help them out because the friend's advice, quote, friend's advice is gonna be shut up, stop bitching, and be happy you have a woman at home. And again, like I said, these are the type of people who show up to funerals, who go on TikTok and then claim that their friend, their loved one, is selfish for ending their own life because you had so much to live for, bro. You have so many people who loved you, bro. They didn't see it that way clearly. They didn't see the support. So, yeah, if I keep talking, I'm gonna just keep talking in circles. So I'm gonna just end it off right here. Y'all let me know your thoughts about this video though. All right, y'all let me know in the comment section below as well. Hit that like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks to those who've been doing so. Until next time, until next video. Y'all stay safe out there. And yeah, choose your friends wisely. All right? Peace.